The Selector are a two-tone ska revival band from Coventry, England, formed in mid-1979. The Selector featured a racially diverse lineup. Their lyrics featured themes connected to politics. Reinforcing the songs of Neol Davies were the voice and road girl style of Pauline Black and the rhythms of Desmond Brown on the Hammond organ. The band's name is based on the term selector, which is a Jamaican word for disc jockey. The band were one of the most successful ska bands of the two-tone era, notching up several top 40 singles in the British charts. The Selector reformed in 1991 and vocalist Black continued to perform and release music under the Selector name until 2006. Some confusion emerged over two competing lineups for the Selector in 2011, between that featuring Davies and that featuring Black and Arthur Gaps Hendrickson. In June 2011 Black applied for, and won, the Selector trademark and the right to use the name herself. History: in 1977, Neol Davies and John Bradbury, with the trombone player Barry Jones, recorded a track in a recording session in 1977 78 that resulted in Kingston Affair. The band then became the Selector. Their debut single, also called The Selector, was the B-side of the special also known as his hit single Gangsters, the first two-tone records single. It was released in March 1979, reaching 6 in the UK charts. The track was written by Davies and Bradbury. Guitarist Davies added longtime friends Desmond Brown, who played Hammond organ, and Charlie Anderson on bass guitar. With Compton Amana on guitar, the vocals of Arthur Gaps unregistered trademark Hendrickson and Charlie H. Bimbridge on drums. The seven-piece lineup for the original band was completed when Pauline Black was spotted by Davies. Davies offered Pauline an audition with the Selector. She joined along with other members in July 1979. The new band released the singles On My Radio, 3-Minute Hero, and Missing Words, written by Davies. The Selector's debut album Too Much Pressure was recorded at the end of 1979 and beginning of the new year, and was released in February 1980 by Two Tone Records and Chrysalis Records. Anderson and Brown left the Selector in 1980 to form The People. Their replacements were James Mackey and Adam Williams. Their second album, Celebrate the Bullet, was issued in February 1981, before Black left the band to pursue a solo career. A short time after, unsuccessfully having tried Stan Campbell as the singer, the rest of the members disbanded. The Selector were featured in the two-tone film documentary and on the live compilation album Dance Craze. Post-breakup years, after the band split in 1982, Black pursued a career in theatre, TV and film. From 1991 she led a reformed Selector for 15 years, releasing several new albums. In 2006 she took a sabbatical from the Selector, in order to write her memoirs Black by Design for publishing house Serpent's Tail. In 2009, she returned to the live arena, playing shows in the UK, Germany and South America, guesting with various ska musicians and performing songs from the Selector's first two albums. During her sabbatical, Black recorded a new 13-track solo album, Pigment of My Imagination, to be released in spring 2011. She later reformed the Selector, this time with guest original lead singer Arthur Gaps Hendrickson, and in summer 2010 they played 2 shows at the Sinners' Day Festival at the Ethiers Arena in Hasselt, Belgium, and at the Bloomsbury Ballroom in London. Neol Davies penned most of the Selector's hit singles. He started up his own home studio after the band disbanded in 1981 to write and record his own new songs, and he played a number of local shows in the Midlands. Davies formed a new version of the Selector in 1991 with Black leaving the band 2 years later. He started up a new outfit called Selector Instrumental, mostly playing movie tunes in a ska style. In 1999, he released his Box of Blues album, assisted with Horace Panter and Anthony Hottie, and the trio often performed at a number of blues concerts in the UK. He later recorded another album, Future Swamp, with guests including Ronnie Wood and Reef members Dominic Grant-Smith and Jason Knight. Both albums were released on Davies' own label, Fomatic Records. Charlie Anderson moved to Sweden during the 1990s where he performed, recorded and released material with the Skeletons. In 2009, Anderson returned to Coventry to play a charity concert at the Central Hall to promote his Ghetto Child project. Joining him on stage were guests from UB40, The Specials, The Selector along with saxophonist Carlos Garnett. Charlie H. Bembridge has been involved with the All Scars, a ska band which performed in the Midlands. In 2013 Bembridge was convicted of domestic violence against his former partner and questions were raised with regards to her children although no charges were brought. Davies, Hendrickson, Anderson and Black were also been involved with unveiling commemorative plaques for the 30th anniversary of Two Tone on significant buildings associated with the record label in Coventry. Reunions. Black and Davies reformed the Selector in 1991, but Neol Davies left the new lineup after a year. After 1993, another original member, Arthur Gaps Hendrickson, performed with this lineup occasionally. They released several new albums, toured around the world and toured with No Doubt in 1997 in the USA. 1998's politically focused Cruel Britannia was critically acclaimed. Black continued to record and perform as the Selector up until 2006, and from 2010 to the present. On October 31, 2010, Pauline Black and Arthur Oe Gaps Hendrickson played under the Selector name to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the seminal debut album Too Much Pressure, by performing the whole album live at the Oe Sinners Dave Stivler Ethias Stadium, Hasselt, Belgium. They also performed at the Bloomsbury Ballroom, London, in November 2010. In her capacity as lead singer of the Selector, Black featured prominently in BBC 4's Reggae Britannia series in February 2011 and the televised Reggae Britannia concert at the Barbican, London, alongside Ken Booth, Neville Staple and Brinsley Ford of Orsvad. The Selector reunited once again when the band travelled over to Belfast, Northern Ireland to play a show in the capital's annual Cathedral Quarter Arts Festival. This was followed by an extensive tour of the UK, Europe, and in October 2014, New Zealand and Australia. In June 2015 the band released new studio album Subculture mixed by Prince Fatty on DMF Records. They will be touring the UK in autumn 2015 on an album tour and Pauline Black with Arthur Gaps Hendrickson will be special guests on a number of dates with Jules Holland and his Rhythm and Blues Orchestra including at London's Royal Albert Hall in November. Discography. Albums Too Much Pressure UK No. 5, Celebrate the Bullet UK No. 41, The Happy Album, Pucker. Cruel Britannia, The Trojan Songbook, The Trojan Songbook a Vol 2, The Trojan Songbook a Vol 3 Reel to Reel, Made in Britain, String Theory, Subculture UK No. 54. Singles and EPs Gangsters vs. The Selector UK No. 6, On My Radio UK No. 8, 3 Minute Hero UK No. 16, Missing Words UK No. 23, The Whisper UK No. 36, Celebrate the Bullet, On My Radio 91, Madness EP, Hairspray EP, Big in the Body, Small in the Mind, Back to Black. Members, former members, Compton Amana, lead guitar, Charlie H. Bembridge, drums, Charlie Anderson, bass guitar, Desmond Brown, Hammond keyboard, James Mackey, Hammond, Adam Williams, bass guitar, Martin Stewart, keyboards, Nicky Welsh, bass, Perry Melius, drums, Emma Bassett, horns, Toby Borelli, guitar. References. External links, Official The Selector site, Official The Selector Facebook page, Official Neol Davies aka The Selector site, Official Neol Davies fan site, Official Pauline Black site, biography from 2-tone.info, Pauline Black at the Internet Movie Database, Vocaphone Records homepage, Fairwood Music Limited. Website